Caitlin. I am a full-time auditor, part-time zookeeper. Not at a real zoo. I wish it was at a real zoo. I made a zoo of my own. I started with 3 dogs that I previously had, and then I slowly added more over time. So I created Petcetera.blog in order to help people by spreading the knowledge that I've learned throughout my own research for getting all of my 10 pets, and just telling you things that I don't think pet stores want to tell you or will tell you in terms of animal care or what your animals need. I've come up with this along the way in the last 1.5 years that I've had my own little zoo, and I just think that with all this knowledge I should share it with everybody else, because what else am I going to do with it? So this video is going to serve as an introduction to me and how I take care of my pets, as well as my 10 pets and their own personalities. And then as this goes on, I hope to dive a little bit deeper into each species and tell you more about them and my own experience with them. A lot of the questions that I get from my friends, family, and coworkers is, what is it like to own a ferret or a bearded dragon? Also, my other goal is to share ideas and things that I've made, things that I currently do in ways to save money. My personal belief is that your income should not stop you from owning a pet. I think that a pet is an important part of anybody's life, and Rose, no, go lay down. That a pet is an important part of anybody's life, and you can own a pet in a lot of different ways. You don't need to have thousands of dollars. You don't need to have thousands of pets. You can have one and be really happy. And that's something that I hope to show you how to do on my channel. And even if you have an animal right now and you want to take better care of it, or throughout my videos you learn that maybe you haven't been giving the best care you can, I'll show you ways to do that. And I'll show you ways that are within a budget and aren't going to make you go bankrupt over your pet or make you get rid of the pet because you think it's too expensive. So here's the... Yeah, I don't have a sign off or anything. So here we have my 2-year-old male bearded dragon. His name is Spoon. Yes, like the appliance that you use to eat soup with. He is on sand right now. Please don't come for my head. I know that it's bad for them. And he's gonna have the sand taken out soon and then tiles put in its place. But it's just temporary for now. And he does normally eat his protein out of this little bowl, which is kind of dirty. Spoon. And that gets washed out and his protein goes in there, so there's no chance of him accidentally eating the sand when he's like chasing the crickets. And he does get fresh greens every day. He just doesn't eat them, so they wilt really easily under his UV light. He came to us from a friend who got him from Sequest, which is actually a local aquarium here in Las Vegas, because he was trying to mate with all the ladies, and they couldn't have that at a family-friendly establishment. Huh, Spoon? So now he lives with us. I think he's in a 75-gallon. It's about yay big. And he's got a hammock, and he's got his own little setup. He's kind of goofy, kind of dumb, but we love him anyway. So right below Spoon, we have Peanut Butter, which is why his name is Spoon, because that goes with peanut butter. At least in my head it does. Peanut Butter came to us from a local reptile shop here in Vegas. We picked her out when she was just a baby, and we've raised her ever since then, so she's probably about a year and a half now. She lives in a 40-gallon, and as soon as we have space she will be upgraded, so no worries there. She has a very funny personality. She likes to come out and sunbathe. She likes to just be held. She likes to snuggle, and she likes to cuddle. And when she's not doing that, she's in her 40-gallon. She normally has 2 tiles, but one of them is currently being soaked and cleaned for her, and she has this little... Rose the dog. She has this little makeshift house over here. We used 2 bricks and a piece of tile from Lowe's. Instead of spending a lot of money at the ones that they sell at like Petco and PetSmart, my husband just made that. She loves to eat crickets. She loves to She loves to eat. She's kind of a big girl, but she's just like her mama. Huh. And then right next to Peanut Butter, below Spoon, this might be hard to see, but this is our 10-gallon where we keep our Pac-Man frog, Ursula. I don't think she is out right now. She's been buried under the substrate for a while now. I don't know if that's because of the heat or she's just more comfortable down there, but we do spray it down every day, at least once a day. I try to aim for twice a day. And we do leave... Mozzarella. Mozzarella, this is not about you. You already had yours. We do leave her little crickets in there so that if she does come out, she always has access to food. And then we have a water bowl for her, not necessarily to drink, but just to soak in if she gets mozzarella, if she finds herself overheated for any reason. Mozzarella, you will have your turn. Naughty. She is, I believe, under a year old. I'm not really sure how old she is. We got her from a local pet store as well. This was before I became more determined. Can you stop? This is before I became more determined to rescue more of my animals. But I'm not going to get rid of her just because she's from a pet store. So she lives under here. I don't handle her very often. She does get a bath maybe every other week, or you know, at least once a month, just to help with digestion. I don't handle her very often, just because I know that frogs absorb things through their skin, and I have lotions and oils on my skin that I wouldn't want to harm her. So she is right here next to Peanut Butter and under Spoon. My husband took an old entertainment center that we found at a Goodwill for like 20 bucks and turned it into a little reptile station, which is amazing. Alright, we are moving on to the ferrets because Mozzarella is a diva and he just loves the camera. No, Mozzarella was the first ferret that I adopted from Petco. He was the last one out of his litter. They said that he had been passed over because of his red eyes and his white fur, which made me love him even more. So we took him home with us and he's been my baby ever since. I think he just had his first birthday in February, and he's this cute little spunky guy. He doesn't like to be held, he doesn't like to cuddle, he likes to get down and go, and he's very naughty. And he recently had surgery in February after he had a blockage from eating an earplug that I didn't know existed in the house, but he's on the up and up and doing much better now, and he's gone. Bye, Mozzarella. So my other two ferrets are up in the second half. I have the Furplast Ferret Tower, I believe it's called. I really love this just because it gives them a lot of space. It is kind of a pain in the butt to clean, but that's worth it if they have more space to roam around. Salami's decided he's done. Salami is our most recent rescue. He came to us from the local ferret shelter. I had been wanting a ferret that looked like this to add to my collection. No, I just always found little masked ferrets cute, and when I saw him on the... I always found masked ferrets cute when I saw him on the adoption website. I knew I had to have him. He is a big chunky boy, just about a year old. He likes to be lazy and eat and be a little ham for the camera. He has a great personality, and he wants to get down right now. This is Portobello. We found her on a Craigslist ad. After I got Mozzarella, I knew that I wanted to get him a friend, and so I started scouring Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. Her previous owner was getting rid of her because her daughter had gotten tired of taking care of her, so we drove about an hour away. Hang on, we drove about an hour away to pick her up. She's very naughty. She likes to climb on top of things, get into things she shouldn't, and dig at things. She is deaf. She's a blaze patterned ferret, which they're normally deaf, but that doesn't stop her from living a full life and being extremely, extremely naughty. She has a really, really pretty pattern. She has definitely got my heart. She's very, very cute. Yeah, a little slinky. Can you look at the camera? No, do not want to. So over here, he's kind of hard to see because of the glare, but this is my male beta, Bowie. He is fairly new to the zoo. I think he's the newest addition. We got him in February. He was my Valentine's Day gift to myself. He's got really pretty colors. He's a blue and a red, which is why I named him Bowie. He lives by himself in a 3.5-gallon tank. He gets fed maybe every other day, just because I don't want to cause bloat in him. And I know that betta fish can be sensitive to that. He's got a really funny personality, and he knows when I'm going to feed him, because he'll come right up to this little like spout that's up here and wait for the food to drop. He's very, very pretty. Very hard to get on camera. And over here, she has put herself in her web, so I'm not going to disturb her. But we have a pink-toed tarantula. Her name is Maleficent. She was bought the same time that we bought the Pac-Man frog. We actually initially went in looking for a Pac-Man frog to add to our family, and we found the tarantula. We already had a 12x12 enclosure that we weren't using, and since we found her, and I fell in love with her colors, and just having a tarantula I thought was a really cool addition to our family. We decided to adopt her on the same day. She is an arboreal species, so we did quickly upgrade her to this. I'm not sure of the measurements, but our local reptile store had it made for us. And since she's arboreal, she likes to make her web at the top of the cage. I did try to give her some foliage and some branches to climb on. Sometimes she climbs on it to get food. She has crickets that kind of just crawl around down here, but normally she's up here in her web kind of chilling, doing her own thing, and I don't want to disturb her, so I will try to open the top of the tank just so you can see her a little bit better. Oh, I'm sorry, love. She's very pretty. I have not held her because I respect her and I don't want to hurt her. So she gets her terrarium sprayed down once a day just to add a little bit of humidity and some water for her to drink. And then moving right to the left over here, we have the last animal in this room, which is Seltzer. She is a dwarf hamster. She lives by herself in this 40-gallon tank. I'm not sure where she is. I just heard her out drinking her water bottle. Maybe she'll come out and grace us with her presence. But she gets fed every other day. She gets a tablespoon of food. 1 tablespoon goes in here. She gets a mix of the Higgins Sunburst and the Missouri Rat pellets. And then the other half is spread throughout the tank. Scatter feeding is what people call it. And that's just for her to get additional exercise and stimulation by running around the tank looking for food. A lot of tunnels that she has dug down here. And oh my gosh, where did you come from? Hello. Well, there she is. She also has red eyes. I don't know if you can tell from this video, but they're very pretty to me. And I got her last April, so we've had her about a year now. I'm not sure how old she is, but if she was already about 6 months or a year when I got her from, I think, PetSmart, and she is a senior hamster, so she's getting a little bit older, but that hasn't stopped her from pooping and peeing on her wheel and just making a mess. But we love her. Yeah, we do. You've heard barking in the background for this entire video, and that's thanks to these 3 rowdy little ones. So the first dog I got was Zayden. He's about 10 years old now. He's a grumpy old man who just wants food and attention, and if you don't give him attention, he will gently remind you by sitting on you. Where'd you go? Oh, there he is. That he would like some attention now, please. He likes to eat everything, and he also just had surgery for a blockage after he ate my very expensive Birkenstocks. Zayden. Yeah, look at that face. That's a naughty face. Next, we have the little Hellraiser Rose. Rose was a stray that one of my mom's coworkers found, and we took her in. She moves too fast for the camera. She likes to bark and jump up on tables and go where she's not supposed to go. You got something to say for the people? Rose's full name is Rose Go Lay Down. Officially, that is her full name. Thank you. And the last dog over here is Crescendo. He is my husband's dog. He is my dog. He's my son through marriage, as I like to say. My husband found him at our high school, I think his sophomore year, just roaming around the field. You're not getting attention? Roaming around the school, and he kept him, I think, in the bathroom all day until he took him home. His name is Crescendo. He is about 10 years old, so he's about the same age as Zayden, but he's not nearly as needy, and he's probably the most well-behaved of the dogs. It is their dinner time, which is why they're all standing around begging for food, so I will feed them. Yeah. You want food? You want food? So those are all my pets and their personalities. I hope you enjoyed them. You'll see a lot more of them in future videos when I show you my tricks and tips on how to keep these animals and how to stay within a budget. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you next time. What's that? Mozzarella, can I help you? This segment's not about you. It's about the frog.